official DOIJ podcast. I am your host, ZachRider747. Uh, and so as of this podcast going live right now here on YouTube, it is currently midnight Eastern Standard Time, Saturday after Thanksgiving. So, yeah, I really didn't expect anybody to be able to join. Hopefully someone will be able to watch live. Hopefully, y'all will watch not live as well. So I do apologize for it being super late. But this was as soon as I could do the podcast, as I was on a vacation at the beach and we didn't have any Wi-Fi. So yeah, that was fun. So there are, as the other host Stephanie mentioned in an announcement, there is a lot of stuff coming to the server. A lot of stuff we had to talk about first, of course, and then if we decide to bring it to the server, we will bring it to the official DOIJ podcast server, which if you want to join that, it'll be in the description below, so I highly suggest you do, because as the title of this episode suggests, oh, and by the way, this is not going to be a long episode, probably going to be about 10-15 minutes. I normally try to keep them around 30 minutes, but I'm really tired, really hard to concentrate, so I'll probably send a lot of ahs and uhs and probably a lot of z's as well, so to be prepared for that. Well, as the title suggests, we do have some interviews coming. I cannot tell you who we are going to be interviewing as of yet, or as of right now, because those will be announced probably at least a good 4 or 5 days before the interview is set to happen. We will try to give you all as much of a heads up as possible. There might be a time or two where it's like, okay, you only have a 24-hour heads up, and the reason we will tell you ahead of time is because you will then be able to send in questions for them to answer while they are being interviewed by us. God, that's really fast. So, because it's not only interviewed by us, but interviewed by you all as well. So like I said, you will be able to send in questions relating to whoever it may be. So I I was hoping to actually start DMing them they already agreed to do it. They are really excited to be interviewed and answer your questions that you may have for them. It's a matter of finding the date and time, and I was hoping to be able to do that or start that process tonight. But when I went into work for next week's schedule, it wasn't there. So hopefully it'll be there tomorrow when I go into work. And yeah, so a lot of things are coming, hopefully coming to the official DOIJ podcast server. Now that I'm actually back and I can get on my computer and type away like 6 storms away, I will be able to actually communicate with the staff and kind of figure out what we want to bring, what we don't want to bring to the server, and hopefully we can get that process started really soon and get this stuff brought out. And of course we'll keep you updated on what is coming. Might even let y'all vote on a few things, but that is definitely happening. Hopefully when I wake up I'll be able to recall a few things. I wrote down on a piece of paper this past week everything that I want to bring, but I think I accidentally left that at the beach. So yeah, should have done that when I was home, not at the beach, but no worries, it will get done. So let me just over here for a second. Oh, that's how we roll. Now, Okay, let me see here. Now, I would kind of give y'all an update on some news that's been happening, but I think I'm going to save that for another podcast. And by the way, podcasts are going to be whenever I can. I'm going to try and make them about midday at EST, as that'll be the only pretty much guaranteed time that I'll be able to do them during the day, as midnight is not going to work for me or really anybody else. So, and of course, the days that I have off, I'll be doing podcasts then as well. I'll also be trying to figure out a way to maybe do some podcasts on my days off with with our other host and our co-host, and just try and get maybe those we pre-recorded and get those edited, and I'm going to try and find a way to see if I can get them uploaded while I'm at work, or make them live while I'm at work, or publicize. What's that word there? While I'm at work, it would be tricky to do the timing wise, because if you want it, so if I can figure out how to do that, because I would do it on the computer, but for some reason I'm connecting to the Wi-Fi at work on the computer. For some reason my computer just wants to not load the pages correctly, so yeah. But if we can do that, the times will be, we'll try and do a schedule, but we'll just have to wait and see. But right now, I'm going to re-say this, as we are looking for new staff members, and keep in mind how we become staff members, or how you all can become staff members, like moderator, admin, and then even potentially even co-host, is you get these roles that anybody can get, and just be active with them, be active in the podcast, like listening to the podcast, commenting on the podcast so we know you're listening, whether it's live or after comment, and active in the server, and that'll help. But here are the roles. There's podcast news research team, member helper, and podcast chat assistant, as well as podcast secretaries. Podcast secretaries, they help read to suggest topics, sending questions, and help pick the topics for each podcast. And if needed, they help research the topic or topics. The news research team, that's basically you just find news, which I'm actually going to be trying to bring something kind of related to that, kind of make it a little more interactive for everybody, so you don't have to have the role, but that I have to discuss with the staff still. So there is that. Member helper, that's basically you're helping the other members, just finding the right chats or answering any questions, and then of course there is podcast chat assistant. And basically what podcast chat assistant does is you'll look at the stream chat and put any questions on stream chat into create a Discord chat and answer whatever questions y'all can. So again, to recap, I know it hasn't been long, I guess I was going to try and keep it around 10 minutes. Seeing as I have so much to do, but totally worth it. Exhausted right now, but totally worth staying up to do this for y'all. So again, a recap, a lot of stuff hopefully coming. Like a lot of stuff I've got to type away and chat up with the other host and the co-host and the staff team. We're looking for new staff, so definitely DM me if you want one of those roles, and I'll tell you what you gotta do to acquire them. They're really not that hard to acquire, but they're easy to lose. So, and that's how you can work your way up to moderator and admin and so on and so forth. Not that you really get that higher than moderator, admin, but maybe co-host if you're active enough. And then of course we have some interviews that are somewhat planned. Those will be announced When we actually have the date and time, we will have it announced, who it is, and we'll have the chat open where you can send in questions for them, and so on and so forth. You know, up until and even during, unless it's a recorded interview. They recorded and uploaded as a stream, like this one is right now. And in that case, yeah. But yes, there all that is. I do apologize. It's one that's been a super late podcast, and I do apologize for being super boring. Oh my gosh, oh JT. So there you have it. Ooh, don't forget and join the official DOIJ podcast server where you can leave us feedback. The more detailed the feedback, the better we can improve our podcast. Try to improve the podcast or the podcast server. Now, if you want to join DOIJ RP, we have PS4, Xbox One, and PC or 5M. GTA 5 roleplay, we have PS4 and Xbox One. Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay. Yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 is out on PC, but I don't think that there's an online aspect yet. I'm not entirely sure. I don't yet have a gaming PC. I'm a few months out from that, so yeah. But that should also be. Sorry. That link should also be in the description below. It'll send you to the interview server. You'll have to get you'll have to fill out an application, and then if the application is approved, you'll get interviewed. You get interviewed, then you go to the training server. You go through the training or trainings, and then if you pass that, which honestly all the stuff is really easy to pass. To be completely honest, it's all super easy. Just use a little creativity. So yeah, there's that. I hope to be trying to do, depending on what my schedule is, I hope to be doing some DOIJ PS4, either a live stream or possibly a video in the hopefully near future. Not entirely sure if I'll get around to that. But yeah, so stay tuned, stay awesome. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so you know next time we go live with the next episode of the official DOIJ podcast. Don't forget to join the official DOIJ podcast server for behind the scenes and being able to chat with us when we're not live and not on YouTube. So there you have it. Stay tuned. Stay awesome. As always, we will catch you later. Thank you all so much for listening in.